Welcome back to WCW 2000. It's the Great American Bash, our pay-per-view for June, and we've got War Games in store for you tonight. And there's some big news for both the save and the series happening at the end of the video, so don't go anywhere until after we've finished War Games and the Great American Bash. But before we get into things, we're going to go through a quick recap of our championship situation, and I'm going to ask you to make sure you are subscribed to the channel, making sure you like all the videos that you watch, share them all with your friends, and check out the rest of this playlist. We're obviously nearly 6 months into the WCW 2000 save. We're doing a lot of things on the local to global save as well, so check out those videos here on the channel. And before we get into things, subscribe, check out Patreon. Thank you. Let's go into what's happening at the Great American Bash. We'll just go through the championship situation first. And if you are not familiar with the series, we did buy ECW a couple of weeks ago. So we've got all of their championships as well, and that's where we're going to start. The ECW champion is the Sandman. That title is being unified with the Hardcore title tonight. We've also got World Tag Team Champions of Masato Tanaka and Jerry Lynn. That title is also being unified with the WCW World Tag Team titles tonight. The World Television title is held by Masato Tanaka. That one is not being touched yet, because we don't know what to do with it. Then we've got the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, which is held by Shane Helms, who won it on Nitro last week when loads of titles changed hands. Basically, the Revolution lost all their titles. So, this was one of them. Shane Helms, Cruiserweight Champion. Hardcore Champion is Tommy Dreamer, who defeated Mike Awesome in an impromptu Hardcore title match 2 weeks ago on Nitro, when ECW made their debut. He's the current Hardcore Champ. Again, that one's being unified tonight. US Champion is Booker T. In fact, it was 2 weeks ago when the Revolution lost all their titles. Who remembers anything on the WCW 2000 save? Because I certainly don't remember week to week, and neither should you. Paying attention is punished when you're watching WCW 2000. It's all on the fly. Nobody pays attention to next week or last week. Booker T, US Champion. Apparently he's being pushed again now. Who would have thought it? World Champion is Kevin Nash. He's held it since the 15th of May, cutting short Scott Hall's reign at just 8 days. He even defended it against Alex Wright in Germany. That was weeks ago. And the World Tag Team Champions are Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, who won it on Dusty's return to WCW 13 days ago by defeating Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn of the Revolution, who have won the title back and forth several times since the save began. But there we go. They're the champions. We've got War Games tonight, Sting's squad against the Revolution, and loads of other matches, which we're going to get into straight away. Yo, Monkey Boy, listen up. If you ain't all jacked up, then hit the bricks and subscribe to some other loser. But if you are jacked and you are ready to let someone feel the bang, then subscribe to me. It's not like there's a choice anyway. And here we go. We're at the Coleman Coliseum in Alabama, and we start the show with a video package highlighting Goldberg's return recently, the ongoing Sting and Flair issues that have led to War Games, and the build to the world title clash between Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. It gets a 71, which is an excellent rating for anything in this save game, so we cannot complain too much. Great way to start the show. Crowd simmering though, which is interesting. Moving forward, Ric Flair starts the show proper by ranting about Sting backstage and his efforts to apparently screw Flair over. It's beginning to sound like his son David, who was apparently being screwed by Sting, but nobody really noticed. Flair is the dirtiest player in the game, and the Revolution have got the advantage going into War Games tonight. They get the extra man when it alternates through. So Sting can go screw himself. Woo! Or woo! More properly, appropriately. I'm not going to do that again, because it's quite loud. But Ric Flair is wooing, and he's gone a little bit mad. 75 for his promo, though. A great, good start. Good start to the show. We then ruin it by bringing on the Impact players and who make their pay-per-view debut. Lance Storm wants to be serious for a minute, and he gets everyone to rise, or rather boo, the Canadian national anthem. And that's not just the coolest, that's not just the best, that's just incredible. Just incredible. Pun intended. Thank you. 28, moving on, the match will be better, it is better. Gets a 54 as the Impact players defeat the Filthy Animals. Conan and Ray. Sorry, we can't call them the Filthy Animals, can we? Has it been long enough? It's been long enough since January. We've forgotten that the Filthy Animals have been disbanded. They're the Filthy Animals now. Conan and Ray. And that's the opening contest. Canadian Maple Leaf makes Conan submit. 54. Yeah, we can't complain about that, really, can we? Good, solid mid-card match. Just Incredible's face is a little bit worrying, though, on that image. But the Impact players get a good, solid victory in the opening contest. And we move on to Big Sexy being backstage with Mean Gene Okerlund. He says that losing the world title doesn't work for him tonight, brother. Scott Hall might be his former best friend, but there will be no favours tonight. Hall will have to beat Nash down in order to take the world title. This is a subtle nod, not that subtle, to the fact that Kevin Nash has got a creative control clause and refuses to lose to anyone. We're going to have to screw him again like Hulk Hogan if this carries on. 50 though for the promo, it's okay. Moving forward to a random 4-way match for the Cruiserweight Championships. Shane Helms is defending his newly won title against Hoovy, Super Crazy and Super Nova. Helms pinning Nova with a vertebreaker, makes his first defence of the Cruiserweight Championship, and the push for Shane Helms has been successful. So, thank you. That's one good thing I've managed to do in this shit save, is push Shane Helms. And it's worked. Super Crazy though, best performance in the match. 54 overall is good, actually. Really good. Thank you. We then go to a maniacally wooing Ric Flair and the rest of the Revolution, who are with Mean Gene. They each talk up a big game about War Games. Mike Awesome and also looks set to come home with 2 titles after tonight's unification match in the Hardcore War. Douglas and the troops are all confident. Flair is wild and out of control. And Mean Gene is just looking thoroughly confused at the whole thing. 40. A little bit disappointing, but that's what happens. Speaking of the Hardcore War, we follow Awesome towards the ring when an ongoing brawl between RVD, the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer crashes into us and sends the cameraman flying. The 4 men get down to business and the Hardcore title / ECW title unification match is underway in the backstage area, because that's how hardcore matches work in WCW. You find 2 people backstage, they start fighting, head to the ring, hardcore match, go! 50. Match itself gets a 58 as RVD gets the job done. 5-star frog splash on the Sandman wins him both the ECW World title and the WCW Hardcore title in a pretty good match, actually. A 58. Dreamer off his game a little bit, but Van Dam's the new double champion, and he's ECW champion just weeks after ECW was purchased by WCW. So there we go. Mike Awesome loses his Hardcore title. Dreamer loses the ECW title. No, sorry. Dreamer loses the Hardcore title. Sandman loses the ECW title. Awesome's already lost his belt. 58, though, is not bad. But after the bell, RVD might be the new unified champion, but Raven strikes from behind. Now, you might remember, you probably won't, that Raven suffered an injury on Nitro, and he wasn't going to be able to wrestle tonight. But he can be in angles. Looks to be okay. Drop toe hold on the chair. Even flow DDT. Raven stands tall over Van Dam with both titles held high. Now, if you've been watching the local to global save, these pair have been warring for years over there. So this is just a little nod to what you should be watching as well as the WCW 2000 save. You've got to go and watch local to global 92. We're nearly into 1998. That's how long that save's been going for. Lots to catch up on. We'll do a bit of a recap at some point, I'm sure, in an upcoming episode. 61 though for the angle. Excellent stuff. Moving on. Dustin Rhodes and Dusty Rhodes, the Rhodes family, the WCW Tag Champs, despite their apparent lack of chemistry in the ring, they're both talking a big game to Mean Gene. Dustin clearly very happy to have his daddy with him, and Dusty's talking up a storm about unifying some tag team titles with his son. Dusty looked good but struggled without a script. Dustin struggled without a script. Dusty loved it. 41. Okay. Tag match itself isn't too bad. They have 0 chemistry as partners though. And Dustin was the weak link, only getting a 33. But the Rhodes family defeat Jerry Lynn and Masato Tanaka to capture both the WCW and ECW Tag Team Championships. We're going to unify those tag titles. Here we go. The Rhodes family apparently new tag team champions or existing tag team champions. New unified tag team champions is the word I'm looking for. 52 is okay. It's okay. I mean, Dustin's 33 was a little bit disappointing, but that's what you get when you've got 0 chemistry with your dad, apparently. Next! Booker T is apparently back having a push. He is with Mean Gene, and he is the new US champion. And he calls Terry Funk an old, worn-out sucker who he plans to put down once and for all tonight, like an old dog, probably. I don't know. They've been feuding a little bit on and off over the last few weeks on Nitro. Booker was having a push, then he wasn't having a push, then he turned heel, then he turned... Don't know what he's done, but he's now US champion and he's facing Terry Funk for the title, and the match is okay, actually. 56, and Booker gets the victory in 10 minutes. Scissors Kick makes his first defense of the US championship. Funk not quite up to scratch to get the victory tonight, but Booker T puts in a solid performance. In ring was good. 61 for the crowd rating as well. Gets us a 56 overall. Everything's been pretty solid tonight. No real duds apart from the Impact Players entrance. But other than that, everything's been pretty good. Crowd's still simmering. Nothing real to let down. Hopefully the main event can pull it up a little bit the last couple of matches. But, you know, I'm content with how things are going. Overall, this has been quite a good show. We then get Scott Hall on his way to the ring for the world title match. He then tells Kevin Nash that things didn't have to go this way, but Big Sexy's made his bed and now he's got to lie on it. There's no Sid Vicious tonight. Obviously, if you remember, this was originally going to be a three-way match after Sid decided to help Nash beat Hall. But that ended last week when Hall beat Sid to be making this a clear one-on-one match. There's no backup, no nothing. It's Outsiders one-on-one for the world title, just like it always should have been. Gets a 64 for the promo, and then the match itself gets a 63, and we've got a crazy dusty finish. Apparently, well, Scott Hall accidentally knocks out a referee. Another referee comes down, counts the pinfall after the Outsider's Edge. Scott wins the world title. Again, then the original referee wakes up, reverses the decision, disqualifies Scott Hall, even though it was an accident, and Nash walks out just with the world title. What a screw job finish for Scott Hall, and this is because Kevin Nash won't even put his best friend over, so we're going to have to invoke our inner Dusty Rhodes and make a mess of a finish here. The fans thought that Scott Hall was going to be a winner and become the two-time world champion, but no, that doesn't work for anyone else. So 63, good match, weird finish. Scott Hall loses, Kevin Nash still world champion. Maybe he'll put Goldberg over. Who knows? Then we go to Sting backstage with Mean Gene. He and his team have been keeping themselves to themselves tonight, working on strategy and not seeking out the attention like Ric Flair. It's all coming down to War Games. Sting versus Flair. The Squad versus the Revolution. It's showtime. 53. Now, I'm expecting War Games to absolutely bomb because of the match length. But we'll see. He gets a 67. Excellent. That's okay. Massive match. War Games. Sting, Luger, Page, Vampiro and Goldberg get the victory over the Revolution. Goldberg makes Perry Saturn submit to some sort of submission hold that Goldberg can do. I don't know. Maybe he growls at him and Saturn goes, and submits. Who knows? War Games, though. 15 minutes is just enough to keep the crowd interested. If it had gone 16, it would have bombed. 67, though, for the match rating. Everyone puts in a solid performance, the lowest being Perry Saturn and Lex Luger at 49, so you can't really complain about either of them. Flair at 69, Sting at 65, Goldberg at 66. They're the top performers. Match got a good boost for some chemistry on the commentary. Flair still in poor form. Goldberg off his game. Match, though, 67 is a really good main event. Billy Kidman up there as well, putting in a solid performance, looking like he can hang with the big guys. That's definitely something to keep an eye on for the future. But, yes, Goldberg makes Perry Saturn submit and wins it for his team. Of course he does. Who else was going to win it? Of course it's going to be Goldberg. And afterwards, this for some reason, was a dud. 44. Goldberg shouts, "Who's next, Big Sexy?" into the camera as he celebrates the victory inside War Games, suggesting that maybe Goldberg will be facing Kevin Nash for the world title soon. Let's end the show there, and it gets a 65. We have increased our popularity in 5 regions. Not lost it anywhere. Finance-wise, we've made 300,000 on the show. We've not made much, have we? Pay-per-view revenue's terrible. I mean, I don't understand that. Don't understand that in the slightest. Popularity, it's just Europe we've increased in. Just not lost it anywhere else. That's fine. Okay. Let's get out of here. Right, you've been wondering the whole time what the news is I've got about this save and this series. So, without any further ado, it's ending. It's come to the point where it's kind of ran its course. WCW 2000 has been massive fun. Okay, great. Sorry. Wonderful. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun booking, trying to book like Vince Russo, but it's quite hard to be as chaotic as it has been and not keep track of anything. It's counterintuitive to just book whatever you want and not actually pay attention to how you've booked in the past. So it's been difficult in that sense. And I also think that it's lost a bit of steam as we've got through the year. Obviously, if this was the real world, Vince Russo probably would have been sacked by now. I mean, the fact he was sacked in January suggest that the fact we've got to June means he should probably be gone. So I think it's in the best interest of WCW and Vince Russo's sanity to quit his position as head booker and let someone else try and save the sinking ship of WCW. We've lost so much money. We started out with 5 million, we're now at minus 13. It's not even been 6 months. So that is that. What it means for the rest of the series, though, that means the series is over, obviously. The save game will be put onto the Patreon page, so any backers over on Patreon for the main event or the Tribal Chief tier can download the save and continue it there if they so wish. That means that the Nitro video tomorrow night will not be happening because Vince Russo is quitting after this show. So that's done. I'll put the save game up with Vince still in charge as the user character, but if you want to just be someone else, then be someone else. You don't have to carry on booking like Vince Russo. Try and save WCW. If you do, let me know how you get on. But that means the series is done. So thanks a lot for everyone who's watched the 23 episodes of Nitro. However many, we've nearly done a half a year. There's 6 or 7 pay-per-views. It's been a great ride. I've really enjoyed the save. I hope you've enjoyed the save. It's probably tailed off its interest a little bit recently after we dropped the spreadsheet because it kind of got to the point where the spreadsheet was holding us back. Obviously, for those unfamiliar, we had a spreadsheet at the beginning where we just randomly generate ideas and change everything on the fly to suit what that generated idea was. We were getting to the point where all of the crazy stuff that was happening on the show anyway was kind of fitting into what the ideas were, so it's just kind of getting a bit pointless to keep doing it. So we ended that, and we're going to end the save here. It's been a fun ride. I want you to put your comments down below as what you thought of both the Great American Bash and the save as a whole. Obviously, we kind of ended it with a big bang with the Great American Bash. We've set things up going forward to sort of get to a Nash-Goldberg match. Nash probably won't put Goldberg over, but it's worth having a look at and seeing what we can do there. So Nash ends as world champion. All the other championships, you've kind of just seen what's happening. I'll flick through them as we're talking. RVD's a double champion. Tag championships are going to be unified as well. But there we go. Thank you once again. I hope you enjoyed the series. I hope you enjoy the rest of the content here on the channel. Go and check out the local to global save as well. Over the summer, we're probably just going to run with local to global. But when we get into sort of September time, we might bring into a second save game to complement that, but we'll see how we get on and see whether we can get through a bit more local to global to try and get us up even higher in the rankings. I think we're currently 5th biggest promotion in the world, so if we can get that to the first over the next few months, that'd be great. But WCW's dead, long live WCW. No, WCW's dead, long live me. Anyway, thanks to everyone who subscribed. If you aren't subscribed, go and do so. Like the video, comment down below. If you want to support over on Patreon, if you want access to the save game, go and support over on Patreon. You don't have to pay for 1 month and you'll get the save games and all the historic save games, and then you can cancel your membership if you really want to, but please don't. Go and subscribe, become a member, support the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. I will be back later in the week with some more local to global, but Nitro will not be happening tomorrow night, so don't get your hopes up for a follow-up from this. Sorry. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Speak soon.